Hey there, welcome to my channel. Please click the subscribe button as well as the bell to receive notification. Now, fair warning, if I make mistakes, I'm moving on. I have tried to record this over and over again. I don't want to edit. Okay, so now that I've explained that, this is the very first lesson in the new Read Aloud series, Early American Civilizations. So let me give you a little background on this particular series. Over thousands of years, some people followed animals they were hunting and slowly moved into different parts of North America, Central America, and South America. Now, some of these people eventually settled into 3 different parts of the Americas and became known as the Maya, Aztec, and Inca. So this whole Read Aloud series is about each of these groups, so you'll learn a lot. Now, in this particular lesson, today's lesson, it is called the Maya, a harvest and a hurricane. So in this lesson, you'll learn about a group of people that lived and farmed together a long time ago, and they're called the Maya. The Maya lived in the rainforests of Mexico and Central America. Now keep in mind, a rainforest is a type of forest that is very warm and wet. Many evergreen plants live in the forest, the rainforest, which means that the rainforest is green all year long. So I want you to listen to find out how the Maya lived and how they got their food and whether the Maya were nomads, meaning they followed their food, or farmers. All right, let's get started. Once there was a Mayan boy named Canal. Canal lived with his family about 3,000 years ago in an area that is now called the Yucatan or Yucatan Peninsula. You can pronounce it either way. One day, Canal was working in a field near the village where his family lived when he saw another Mayan boy coming his way. It was his cousin Pic. Canal smiled and said, "Hello, how are you?" Pic had been lost in thought. He answered, "Fine, thanks." But he looked unhappy, so Canal asked, "What's wrong?" Pic said, "My father told me that he is certain there's a hurricane headed this way. He is worried about being able to harvest the maize in our field before the hurricane reaches us." Maize or corn was the main crop that Maya grew for food. Oh my goodness. It's the main crop the Maya grew for food 1,000 years ago, as it still is today. Like most plants we grow for food, maize should be picked when the time is right to get it at its best. Canal knew this, so he understood why Pic was upset. "That's terrible," Canal said. "Let us go find my father. He will know what to do. He is one of the wisest men in the village." So the 2 boys started down the dirt path toward the village. As they drew nearer, they saw the houses ahead, each one made of stone. Canal's younger sister, Ekel, was sitting in front of their house weaving cotton to make a brightly colored garment. When she saw the boys, she smiled. Canal asked her, "Has father returned from fishing?" "Not yet," said Ekel. "If you are looking for him, he said he would probably try the place where he caught the big fish last week." So the 2 boys continued on through the village. An old woman smiled and waved them over. "Here's a little something for you boys," she said. She handed them some chicle, fresh from the sopadilla tree. She smiled. "Chicle is like chewing gum," and the boys popped some into their mouths and said, "Thank you," and continued on their way. 10 minutes later, they reached the riverbank. A little upstream, Canal's father, Toon, stood knee-deep in water while the other village men were getting out of a canoe. Toon was strong and very smart, and everyone liked him. Canal and Pic watched as Toon and the other men dragged a fishing net from the canoe to the shore. As the boys hurried forward, Toon and the other men drew the fish in the net onto the riverbank and looked up. "Hello, Pic," he said. "Canal, what are you doing here?" Father, Kanal replied, Uncle believes that a hurricane is headed this way. He is worried about the maize. It could be destroyed if it is not completely harvested before the hurricane hits. Toon listened and then turned to Pick. My brother can normally tell about these types of things, he said. We are family. We will all help you pick your corn. Tell Zook that Pick's father's name, or that was Pick's father's name, that I will come this afternoon and bring other family members to help. The boys grinned with excitement. Thank you, Uncle, said Pick. I will tell my father. He ran off to tell him the news. Kanal looked down and saw that his father had caught many fish. He picked some up and Toon took the rest. Then they headed back to the village. As they came to their village, Toon stopped each time he saw other relatives to ask if they would help harvest the maize for Zook. Everyone agreed to help. Families all depended on each other in their efforts to grow plants, hunt, and fish, and even build or repair one another's homes. Each person knew that when it was his or her turn to ask for help, the extended family would be there. By the time Kanal and Toon reached home, everything was arranged. Toon said, This afternoon, your Uncle Zook will find that he and Pick have all the help they need harvesting the maize. Then we need to prepare our house for the hurricane. That afternoon, Kanal, Toon, and all their relatives helped Zook and Pick harvest their maize. They all worked late into the evening, and then everyone went back to their houses to get ready for the hurricane. They hoped that the hurricane would not damage their homes, but they would have to wait and see. Now, that is the end of this Read Aloud, and I hope you learned a little bit about the Maya and about just how they worked in a community with each other. So I hope you'll join me for the second Read Aloud. See you next time.